It's Friday, February 14th, 2020, and here's what's happening. We are working to learn more about a crash involving a Jamestown police car this morning, the latest there. Plus, what we know about two shootings in the city of Dunkirk.
And a live look over Mayville shows you the snow accumulation that's fallen over the past couple of days. But is there any warmer temperatures in sight? We'll talk about it next. The news starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our top story today, a city of Jamestown police car was involved in a crash this morning at the corner of North Main and East 2nd Streets here in the city. Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snellings confirmed the news to WNY News Now. Jamestown Fire Department was dispatched to a motor vehicle accident at the intersection just after 6:30 a.m. Now, that roadway was closed to traffic immediately following the crash. Photos you see on the screen submitted to us show that the police cruiser and the late model Toyota involved both sustained front end damage in the wreck. Still no word if anyone was injured in the crash. Chief Snelling says a media release with more details is expected to be sent out later today. And a man was injured following a shooting last night in the city of Dunkirk. Dunkirk police say they were called to Brooks Hospital's emergency department at around 7:30 for a reported victim with a gunshot wound. Police say no further details about that shooting was available, although they ask anyone with information on the incident to contact them at 716-336-2266. I'll read it again. It's 716-336-2266. Now, this is the second shooting this week there in Dunkirk. On Wednesday afternoon, police say 21-year-old Kristen Horton Romeo allegedly discharged several rounds from a firearm while in the backyard of a residence on Ruggles Street. Police say a loaded firearm was recovered from that scene. They have not said if the two shootings are connected. We will continue to follow this story for updates. Well, New York State's Supreme Court in Chautauqua County has ruled that a lawsuit that challenged the town of Carroll's waste disposal law should be dismissed. The court ruled that Sealand Waste, a company trying to operate a landfill in the town, lacked a vested property interest in their claim that the town's law was arbitrary and based on ethical violations. Now, in the early 2000s, officials modified the town's policy on landfills, eliminating the operation, construction, or expansion of current sites. Sealand Waste was trying to reopen and operate a landfill there in the town. In part of their legal battle, the company argued that the town's waste law violated ethical rules that prohibited them from being part of a committee that aimed to keep landfills out of the area. Now, Town of Carroll Supervisor Russell Payne says this latest development in the case is positive in the fight against landfills.
The town has stood shoulder to shoulder against Sealand. There are many facets of the landfill that would impact the community itself and many environmental issues as far as affecting the groundwater, surface water in the area.
Now, a group known as Carroll Concerned Citizens has been outspoken against dump sites since the law first passed. Most recently, several residents of the town and groups spoke out during a 2018 DEC public comment session regarding that proposed landfill. Well, the annual President's Day weekend Winter Festival is slated to kick off tonight with the lighting of the Snow Castle at Lakeside Park in Mayville. Here's some video from last year's event. Now, generally, the centerpiece of that festival is made from ice on Chautauqua Lake, although this year mild temperatures have changed building specs a bit. For the first time in the festival's history, the castle was constructed of a combination of snow and ice. The weekend festival will launch tonight at 6 o'clock with the lighting of the castle And that's followed by the Queen of Hearts Ice Ball, a night of music and dancing, some food trucks, a cash bar, and more from 6:30 until 9:30 in a heated party tent at Lakeside Park. Boy, that will certainly be handy. The festival will feature several new events and activities and continue many introduced last year, including the return of a beer and wine tent, pond hockey, and a children's activity tent as well. Now on Saturday, the Chautauqua Lake Snowmobile Club will host a fireworks display and flare parade. I certainly can't wait to check it out. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now. If I can get my iPad to work, I'll pull up the comments and talk to everyone who's joined us here on the broadcast. Gotta say hello to... It's loading, so I don't know what's going on. There we go. There's my pretty face. Gotta say hello to Patricia. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks so much for being here. Gotta say hello to Joe. Hello to David. Happy Valentine's Day to you, sir. He says, certainly cold out there. Yeah, it is. Hello to Rod. Hopefully you're doing well. Barbara, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Brandy. And good afternoon to Raymond as well. Hopefully you are all having a good day. Well, let's switch gears and get a check of our First Defense weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And that heated party tent tonight there in Mayville, I think many people are probably going to be taking advantage of that, Mr. Hunter.
Yeah, that actually would not be a bad place to be if you're going out to Mayville tonight because it is freezing out there. Here's a live look from Salamanca, 15. That's the current temperature. Man, it is frigid out there. Look at the wind chill at 10 degrees when you factor in that north wind of 3. And it's going to remain that way through the day today because we have that northerly wind component that's not going to help us too much in the temperature department. So, additional snowfall accumulations from last night. Fredonia, you won at 5 inches. Silver Creek at 6.5. Actually, Silver Creek should have been at the top here. But Silver Creek 6.5, so you won. But Silver Creek and Fredonia, you're close enough. Fredonia, Silver Creek there, close together. Perrysburg 4.2. Jamestown officially 2 inches. Little Valley also 2 inches, and Falconer at 1 inch. So this was the additional lake effect that came our way last night and early this morning. And you can see on the radar, it is absolutely dry out there, but there still could be the chance for a few spotty lake effect snow showers, mainly across the inland southern tier today. I wouldn't necessarily rule that out, but the majority of the afternoon should be dry. 34 was the high yesterday. 7 is where we bottomed out this morning at the airport. Woof! Man, that is cold, but nowhere near the record low. It was 24 below zero back in 1979. So here's the forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Any limited lake effect snow showers through the afternoon. The majority of those should cut out. But if you do see it 1 or 2 inches at most, and I think even that's a bit too high though. Partial sunshine though, cold. Look at these highs, 9 in some of the deepest valleys to 16 at the immediate Lake Erie waterfront. Wind chill 0 to 5 below. Even though the wind's not too strong, temperatures like that, it will not take much to produce a wind chill index, and it gets even colder tonight, but we do rebound over the weekend. We'll talk about it all in just a few minutes. Back to you, Jay.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Got to say hello to Raymond, Butch, and Brandy as well. She says, hope you enjoyed the pictures that I sent in. And Dakota, I don't know if you got a chance to look at those yet, but they were of the ice castle. It looked like maybe last night or earlier in this week. Absolutely beautiful. So we thank you very much. And again, if anybody has pictures, please send them to us. You can either do it at the WNY News Now Facebook page, or you can email Dakota or send him a Twitter at HuntersWX. Coming up, a lot more to tell you about why lawmakers want a panic button in public schools. And later, what happened during a meeting between New York's governor and the president yesterday. We'll tell you coming up.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Not tomorrow, but right now, on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Lawmakers in New York are proposing to put panic alarms in public elementary schools. The alarms would be used during emergencies like a lockdown or an active shooter situation. Now, each school would get at least one alarm that would be directly linked to a nearby police station. Advocates joined family members of one of the victims from the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, at the state capitol this week. The bill comes amid a new report by two of the largest labor and teacher unions in America that recommend caution for live active shooter drills. They say that support trauma-informed training, but schools are not considering the impact of live drills on students. Well, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo visited the White House yesterday in the hope he could persuade President Donald Trump to reverse a decision to boost New Yorkers from programs that allow travelers to avoid long lines at the U.S. airport. The Democrat governor and Republican president met to discuss their dispute over New York's green light law, which allows unauthorized immigrants to obtain state driver's license and also bars federal immigration agents from assessing state motor vehicle records. The Trump administration says that the cutoff from the state records threatened public safety and responded by blocking New Yorkers from enrolling in Global Entry and other trusted traveler programs. New York then sued over its expulsion. The acting Homeland Security Secretary says the leaders held a proactive meeting yesterday. He called the relationship between the state of New York and the federal government an important one, but says that it's been made difficult by the actions of New York State regarding the sharing of critical security information with the DHS. He said in a tweet that the discussions would continue to find a mutually agreed upon solution. Cuomo's communication director says that the president wants to work on this issue and is expected to follow up with the governor next week. We'll keep you updated. Well, as of this morning, there are more than 64,000 coronavirus cases across the world. The disease has already killed more than 1,300 people, and there are 15 confirmed cases here in the U.S., but health officials expect that number will rise over the days and weeks ahead. John Lawrence has more for us.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is preparing for a worst-case scenario, a widespread outbreak of the coronavirus in the U.S.
I think this virus is probably with us beyond this season or beyond this year, and I think eventually the virus will find a foothold and we will get community-based transmission.
The CDC says the disease can be spread by people who aren't showing symptoms.
You can start to think of it in a sense like seasonal flu. The only difference is we don't understand this virus. At least seasonal flu, we pretty much understand how it acts.
Close to 6 weeks ago, the CDC offered to help China with its outbreak, but the Chinese government hasn't responded.
I think some of the experts in our public health team are quite disappointed. We thought there was better transparency coming out of China, but it doesn't appear to be.
There is no vaccine for the coronavirus right now.
We've had a very aggressive approach to try to do early case identification and then isolation and contact tracing. That's enabled us to contain this at this point.
And that also gives researchers more time to develop and test vaccines and antiviral drugs that could combat the disease. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
All right, John, thank you very much. And as we reported yesterday here on the program, the CDC is remaking parts of its coronavirus test kit that were shipped to several states. According to them, many of the kits produced inconclusive results. Well, for most, today is Valentine's Day, but what could show some love more than giving the gift of life? The holiday today, in addition to Valentine's Day, honors Saint Valentine's and adorable Cupid, but it's also known as National Organ Day. And the need out there is pretty great. According to U.S. health officials, more than 113,000 American men, women, and children were waiting for transplants last year, and 20 die each day without treatment, while about 95% of adults also see organ transplant, and certainly it's one of the biggest things I think in going around. Now, today is a good chance to talk with your doctor or with your loved ones about the cause. And the need isn't just for organs like kidneys and livers. Dakota health officials say donating 1 pint of blood is likely to save 3 lives. So certainly very important.
Are you an organ donor, Jay?
I am, yes. I have it listed on my driver's license. And I kind of came to that conclusion really when I first got my driver's license at 16. I was like, this is something I'm going to do because, God forbid, I'm in a car accident or even some other medical things happen to me. My afterlife isn't about my body, in my opinion.
Right.
It's about the spirit that Justin had and has every day. I don't want it to be past tense. But with that, if I can help somebody else, I really want to. I think that's amazing. So, are you?
I'm actually not an organ donor, but I have thought about it numerous different times about maybe signing up to be one. Of course, Apple makes it easy to be, essentially to be one, because if you use the health app on your phone, like if you have an Apple Watch or whatever, you can actually go in there and you can actually tell it to be an organ donor.
Oh, really?
And I think it actually will.
They contact various people.
So I think that's how it works. I think, but don't quote me on that. But
well, I know on the back of your license, usually there's a box that you can check, and if you check that, then when they find you because of, God forbid, a wreck or something, then they have that information where it's like, okay, this is something that he wanted. And at the end of the day, I think you talk to your family about it. They know that this is what you want to do. Obviously they would take your wishes for the most part. But you always see that in doctor shows, right? Where they're like fighting over like, no, I don't want this for this person. And it's like, they're always like the moral question of what do they want.
I see that all the time on all those shows that talk about hospitals and whatnot. You see it all the time, the family fighting over, should they stay on life support or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. My personal opinion is, It's
up to you.
I mean,
what is your personal opinion? Tell us.
Well, I don't know.
You don't like it? You don't want to do it?
Well, no. I mean, it's tough because it's like, in a way, if something really terrible happens and if you end up where you're paralyzed or you're severely paralyzed and you're going to be in a lot of pain, sure, it's a miracle that you are still alive, but at the same time, do you really want to go through the rest of your life in severe pain or trauma? That's the big thing with me, especially when it comes with life support. It's like, if something terrible happens to me and if I'm going to be in pain for the rest of my life and it's going to be traumatizing pain.
Might be, I agree.
Don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's such a tough decision and certainly one that we don't really want anyone to face. Before we go to weather, I got to say hello to Lori, hello to Cindy, hello to Phyllis. Hopefully you're doing well. Brandy, she sent us this photo this morning. Our producers were able to pull it up. And wintry out there nevertheless, but looking good. Can't wait to see what will be coming tonight. Certainly temperatures are probably going to be, as you've been talking about, Dakota, cold and cold and it's cold. Yes, it's cold. It's cryogenic freezer cold. But hey, if you like the cold and the snow, the ski resorts are not going to be a bad place to be. Everybody has good bases up there with good surfaces, and everybody is reporting at least a couple inches of new snow over the past 24 hours. So get to the ski resorts if you're a skier or a snowboarder, because this is going to be the place to be over the next day or two. Look at these low temperatures this morning. 7 is where we bottomed out this morning in Jamestown, 11 in Dunkirk, 16
16 in Erie. How about one little lonely degree in Olean? And you want to go colder? How about just north of the border in Hamilton, Ontario, 2 below zero? And we've rebounded slightly since then. We're at 13 right now at the Jamestown Airport, 12 in Mayville, 12 in Dunkirk, 17 in Erie. You can change the time, but the temperature is really not going to change a whole lot. This is where we're going to be hanging out through the day. But the bigger problem is the winds. Even though the winds are not too strong right now, there's a north to northwest wind component. You can see the wind arrows north-northwest. All the wind speeds right now are generally between 5 and 10 miles per hour. But when you have temperatures like that, with even just low wind speeds, it does not take much to produce a wind chill index. This is what it feels like when you step outside right now. 1 degree in Jamestown, 3 in Dunkirk, 11 in Mayville, 2 below zero in Olean, in Warren, and 3 below zero in Olean. So that's what it feels like when you step out the door. The wind chills are still going to be nasty through the day, as the temperatures are just not going to respond to basically any partial sunshine. Again, throughout this week, we've been talking about this. We're forecasting 14 for our high today. So if we hit that, somewhere in this bracket, again, we will have a top 5 coldest Valentine's Day dating back 100 years. So again, it doesn't matter where the temperatures are going to fall today. Just know it's going to be cold and you're going to need the layers on. Satellite and radar composite, nothing going on, but I wanted to put the satellite on here because you can see that north to northwest wind flow with these clouds coming straight off the Great Lakes. That's a nice picture. And actually, as we zoom the radar out to show you the entire Great Lakes, you can see that, there's a lot of lake effect cloudiness that's starting to generate, but there's nothing coming out of the clouds at the moment. But we still could have maybe a few scattered light snow showers inland away from the lake. Wind chill, this is still the big problem through the day here. And again, last night we told you how essentially if tonight we can get the skies to clear, I think a lot of people might end up sub-zero by tomorrow morning. Now these are the wind chills, not the air temperature. This is the air temperature and the wind speed combined together. So by tomorrow morning, everybody sub-zero. I think we're going to be possibly knocking on the door for a negative double digits for wind chills. This is by 6:30 tomorrow morning. So it's going to be frigid tomorrow morning, even colder than it was today. So if you're going out tomorrow morning, you're going to need the layers because it is going to be cold. All right, inland areas here today. This is it. Lower to mid-teens. That's it through the day. But again, even with a wind like that combined with temperatures like this, it's going to be feeling about 0 to 5 below through the day. So dress for that. Next 7 days of your life are coming up on the screen. We rebound tomorrow. We're up to near 30 after a very cold start, but at least the aid of plentiful sunshine will help to warm us up. Maybe a few scattered snow showers Sunday, 37. We're warming up again out ahead of a next storm system on Tuesday. We're back up to near 50. And then as that storm system plows through the region Wednesday and Thursday, we're back to winter with temperatures back down into the lower 20s and a few scattered snow showers. Justin and Norm?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Norm joins us at the desk now with what's coming up in sports.
Yes, Justin, but with this weather, I wouldn't blame Cupid one bit for thinking, I'll just stay home and stay warm in the cabin.
He might need to bundle up.
For sure. Hopefully he doesn't have to cover up those arrows. Anyways, coming up next, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks added 2 more players to this year's roster. That and more when WNY News Now returns.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Rejoice, sports fans, it is Friday. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. On Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, the New York State Public High School Athletic Association's Section 6 70th Annual Wrestling Championships and 57th Annual State Qualifier will be taking place. 35 different schools will be taking part in these wrestling championships, which include Jamestown, Falconer, Lancaster, Clarence, Orchard Park, Fredonia, and Portville. The Section 6 Wrestling Championships will take place at Southwestern High School in Jamestown. On Thursday, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks added 2 more players to their upcoming 2020 roster. One of the players who will be on the team this season is Jack Grace, an outfielder who plays for Creighton University. The other player Jamestown reeled in is Matt Henson, a right-handed pitcher from Bethune-Cookman. There will also be more player announcements by the team in the upcoming future. Tonight at 9 o'clock, the NBA will be having a World vs. USA basketball game. Team USA will look to win back-to-back World vs. USA games after winning it in 2019, 161-144. Players who will play include Ja Morant and Zion Williamson on Team USA, and Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton playing for Team World. Then on Sunday at 8 o'clock, the NBA All-Star Game will take place. This year, it will be Team LeBron James against Team Giannis Antetokounmpo for the second straight year. The All-Star Game will be played at the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls. The World vs. USA game and the NBA All-Star Game will be televised on TNT. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
All right, Norm, thank you very much. Well, show your sweetheart some LOVE because today it's Valentine's Day after all. Now, since the Renaissance, we've been exchanging Valentine's cards. Those tokens of romance grew more into commercial ventures by the Victorian era. Now, today we have balloons, chocolates, and jewelry to add to the romantic mix. But the holiday actually originated, and its origin is up for debate. Some people credit the Pope back in 496. History says he was trying to distract from a Roman fertility festival that occurred in the mid-February. Another popular theory is that Saint Valentine married Roman soldiers in secret and the emperor preferred to have only single men in the army. Now that got the saint in a lot of trouble, and if you'd like to avoid that fate with your significant other, you should pick up some flowers or a card.
Or if you're single like me, you don't have to worry about this issue.
No? Well, hey, you could have a day just to yourself.
I am. When I go home today, I have now I normally eat cheesecake on Valentine's Day, but I don't have any. But I do have a peanut butter pie.
Ooh.
So
I'm coming home with you.
Sure, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go right now. But I'm gonna have that peanut butter pie, and I'm gonna watch the Golden Girls.
Nice.
That's my Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's to me.
I'm gonna go freeze my bung off. With my girlfriend at the Winter Festival tonight.
Are we allowed to say that on the air?
My bun? My bun? I can't say that. You don't want to hear what our producer said. He's like, you can say a different word. Nope. I'm not going to say that. But no, yeah, so it should be, make it what it is. Everyone makes it what they make it, and no stress day. I think I explained this earlier this week. My girlfriend Mackenzie and I just keep it chill.
Yeah.
No big deals on today.
Are you going anywhere for dinner?
No, we're going to eat at home, have some time to ourselves, and go to the Winter Festival, and then probably get a snack or something. The Big Tree soft serve people in Lakewood, they're open this weekend. For whatever reason, it's freezing. Okay. But we're probably going to go get some soft serve ice cream too. So there's
nothing wrong with.
There's my itinerary.
I mean, I've said this before. It's like I don't know why a lot of ice cream shops close in the winter. I think it's because they don't have heat in the building.
Yeah.
But it's like I love ice cream in the winter.
Too.
I love getting ice cream in the winter. There's nothing wrong with
that. That's
like
one of the biggest things when Dairy Queen left the area. I was so sad because you could get ice cream all the time, and I know 50s they have some pretty good ice creams, but I love their soft serve ice cream at Big Tree. So, if you're going to go down there. I was thinking about this the other day. They did a post on their Facebook. They had 300 shares of people who were really, 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 really into the ice cream. They shared it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's genius marketing. It was just like a surprise announcement. Here we are, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's get a final check of our
very quickly. We don't have too much time, but again, this is for tonight. I think some of the deepest valleys, 2 below 0 to 11 at the Lake Erie shoreline. Wind chills 4 below to 12 below by tomorrow morning.
All right, Dakota, thank you very
You're welcome.
much. That's going to do it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We're back on Monday. Hope to see you then.